In level 1, we are going to identify the parts of the graph of a quadratic equation, which is called a parabola. The x-intercepts, like in any function, are where the graph touches the x-axis, and that would be at these 2 points, and we're going to give them as ordered pairs. X is -2 and y is 0 for the point on the left, and for the one on the right it's +2, 0. The y-coordinate of x-intercepts is always 0. And the y-intercept is going to be where the graph touches the y-axis, which is 0, -4. For y-intercepts, the x-coordinate always equals 0, and for x-intercepts, the y-coordinate always equals 0. The vertex of this parabola happens to also be the point where this parabola is touching the y-axis. So this point right here is also the vertex. The vertex of a parabola is either the very lowest point or the very highest point. If your parabola is right side up, it has a lowest point for the vertex, which we call a minimum point. And if the parabola is upside down, it has the vertex is the maximum point. The vertex in this case, since it was the same as the y-intercept, it won't always be, but it's the coordinates 0, -4. The axis of symmetry is a line going down the center of the parabola through the vertex. So when we draw it, we usually draw a dotted line for the axis of symmetry. And since it is the equation of a vertical line, the equation of a vertical line is always x equals some number. So it will be x equals whatever the x-coordinate of the vertex is. So in this case, x equals 0. So that line going down the center is x equals 0. And that divides the parabola in half, where both sides are symmetrical. The interval where the graph is increasing is where the graph goes up from left to right. So the part of the graph that's increasing is this part right here on the right side. And intervals always go from an x value to another x value from left to right. So the leftmost x value is the vertex, and the x-coordinate of that vertex is 0, and we're going to give this an interval notation. So it goes from 0, and the parabola moves to the right and up forever, so it's going to be 0 to infinity. And for intervals of increasing and decreasing, we always just use parentheses. Now this graph is decreasing on the left side. From left to right, the graph is going down. And again, we give that interval from an x value to another x value, from left to right, from low to high. And so on the left side, the graph is coming from -infinity, and it decreases all the way until it gets to the vertex, which has an x-coordinate of 0. So that would be from -infinity to 0. And we already said this parabola has a minimum point because it's a right side up parabola, so it has a lowest point, which we call min.